Hi, my name is Dan Weiss, and in conjunction with Wiley, I am the product manager of MOAC Labs Online. Today I'd like to show you what a MOAC lab looks like and how to log in and access one. First thing first, I'll be entering through the site link. In the previous session, we talked about how to log in and use your access code. In this one, we'll be actually logging in. Click on Access Site. I will need to use a Windows Live ID to log in. I already have one set up. So I'm going to log in. You can see here I have access to the MOAC Labs online titles. I have access to all titles here, being that I'm looking at this from a reviewer / demo or account mode. Today we're going to be logging into one of the classics, the MOAC 7640 exam, the Windows Server 2008 Active Directory Configuration course. So in each one of these labs now, or in the module for the course, you can see that we have the lab that corresponds to each module listed all the way down to lab 13 here. Today I want to look at lab 6, so I'm going to click on the blue link here. We're now loading up our content viewer in which a user is able to sort through each one of the different labs and look at the components that come with it. If we had clicked on the module level, you would have seen concepts that correspond to this lab. In this example, this lab 6, you see the scenario that is being played out, and then we're going to be able to click on the exercise information to see what we're going to be doing. We're going to be using naming standards and secure passwords. We're going to employ administrator account security, and we're going to also look at delegating administrative responsibility. Then we're going to click on Launch the Lab. But before I do that, I want to highlight the link below, Lab Review. You can see the lab challenges here, and this will allow faculty to help their students understand what they've learned. We have the questions that correspond to the book listed right here. So this is a great post-lab test. When we click on Launch the Lab again, there's 3 links in addition to the Launch the Lab button right here. When you click on the first lab here, you will see that, or the first link, excuse me, you can click to view and print the steps. And these are the high-level steps here, so that a user is not going to get the exact point-to-point walkthrough. It's going to be very kind of high-level. You need to go do X and then do Y. But if you look down on this one, these are the detailed steps. When it says go do X, you're going to then see, and then as step 1 for completing X, you need to do this. Then step 2, do this. And 3, do this. The detailed steps are for individuals who do not have the knowledge base needed to be able to complete the lab without assistance from an instructor or from a resource guide. Lastly, we have the virtual machine details. This is a link for instructors so they can understand how the virtual machines are configured in case they choose to create their own lab instructions so that they know how to work in them. We're going to have an extensive period of time to be able to complete this lab in, more than ample, so let's log into the lab right now. And this is loading in real time here. So what we're doing is we're spinning up the virtual machines on the Microsoft Data Center, and we're wrapping them around a web viewer so that a user does not have to remotely log into the other virtual machines if there are more than one in a lab. This makes the user experience more friendly and allows for a easier look and feel for the eye. So we're almost connected to the server, and you can see that there are indeed 2 virtual machines in this lab because there's 2 tabs up here. Each tab is a different virtual machine, which means that we can just simply tab through the virtual machines versus starting on one virtual machine and then remotely connecting to another. So I can, for example, now click on this one and immediately gain the connection, then click back and be in the lab. As you can see, I'm now in the virtual machine and I have the full functionality needed to be able to complete my lab here. So I can go into any file I want, and I can be able to do things as I see fit. For example, I could jump into the administrative tools and I could start looking in the Active Directory domain and trusts. And now I see the components that are listed here, break it out further if I want. And now I'm in the MIA view, and there's nothing more outside of this level. In the lower right-hand corner, you see the time remaining in the lab. As I said, it's more than ample time to complete the lab. We started with almost an hour and 50 minutes. We anticipate that users should be able to complete this lab in up to 90 minutes. So we're sitting with even more additional time here, and that's very much a good experience for users. So I did talk that these are real virtual machines, so I can go into Server Manager and I can be able to change functionality as I see fit. I could change my roles. Oops. We're collecting the data because this is the first time it's loading in this point of view. So now you can see I'm down to Active Directory users again in computers, and I'm viewing the Contoso domain. You can see the computers that are listed. There are none. I could go down and look at the domain controllers. There's the first one which we're sitting on. See which users exist. Here's all the users. These are real virtual machines with having unlimited access for the students. They're getting the right hands-on experience remotely, anywhere, anytime, and that's the value of MOAC Labs Online. Anywhere, anytime access, and you have the full ability to modify as you see fit. And there's no worries about messing up real machines or needing instructor help to even set up machines, because Microsoft Learning, in conjunction with Wiley, is taking the hassle out of the setup and maintenance of this process. If you have any questions, please consult your Wiley sales representative, and thank you for listening.